We got our first episode of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier over on Disney+. Let's do a spoiler-free review of New World Order. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to Comic Book Nostalgia. I'm CB Nostalgia, and we have a little review of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Well, we got our first episode of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier last night over on Disney+, and I gotta say, I was not disappointed. Although we actually got to see WandaVision already, this is pretty much a better idea of what Kevin Feige had in mind to kick off Phase 4 of the MCU. Now, before we break this episode down, I wanted to remind everybody to hit that like and subscribe button and ring the bell for all the updates. Also, don't forget about the big giveaway. We're going to give away this PlayStation 5 at 25,000 subscribers. All you have to do to get in on the giveaway is be a subscriber and leave some sort of comment. Well, Marvel Studios continues to surprise us, and I gotta say, I think they hit a home run with The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We got our very first episode last night, but I thought it would be a nice time to do a short spoiler-free review of the first episode. Tons happened in this kickoff episode, but I have to say there's an aspect of it that I really loved. If you ask many people what their favorite non-action scene in the MCU was, it would have to be that Age of Ultron party scene. You know, where we got to know the people behind the mask more than the superhero themselves. Now, if you're a fan of Marvel Comics, you know the biggest thing about Marvel heroes that separated them from other heroes would be the fact that they were the world outside your window. And seeing into the personal life of both Sam and Bucky in this first episode was pretty awesome. Now, like I said, no spoilers. But let's break down what happened to both of them in sort of a high-level review. This story picks up pretty nicely post-Endgame. They say it's several months out, but they don't really give a specific timeline in the show. Sam is clearly still reeling from the whole thing, and takes the title of Captain America pretty seriously, and for me, makes a rather unexpected but noble move. We really get to watch Anthony Mackie explore Sam Wilson as a person like we've never seen him before. We see his home, family, and personal problems in a way I don't think we've actually got to see in another Marvel hero, save maybe Wanda Maximoff. Now, Sam has continued on being a hero, and the opening action sequence in this episode was amazing. But the personal development of the character really outshadowed the action scene. Now, by the end of the episode, we kind of do see where Sam is headed, and he's challenged directly by the storyline and some of the choices that he's made during that episode. As he finds out, many people, heck, most people, are nowhere near as noble as him, and can't possibly live up to the level of Steve. By the end of the episode, this is something that's clearly right in Sam's face. Now let's talk about the other half of the show, Sebastian Stan's Bucky Barnes. Many questions about how Bucky gets to this place are actually answered in this episode. How things have worked out with the Accords and what he's been up to following Endgame are really clear. Bucky is a guy living in the past and trying to rectify all the things that are on his quote-unquote list. Sebastian Stan's never really had a hard time portraying this character as a guy who's in a lot of pain, and as we watch many of the personal steps in his life in this episode, it is at the forefront. Sebastian Stan's Bucky Barnes has been one of my favorite characters in the MCU for quite a while, so I really look forward to seeing what Stan's going to do with that character. I actually think his portion of the plotline might be one of the primary drivers in this series. And I think the path to the new Captain America might be more complicated than expected. And one of the other good parts of this first show was the supporting cast. Not only did we get a major Marvel cameo in this premiere episode, but we're introduced to several other characters, one of which plays a big part in the Falcon mythos. That would be Lieutenant Torres, but we'll break that down in another video. We also got our first look at the villains, but not too much. The Flag Smashers are clearly going to be pretty interesting and a little deeper than the solo character we knew in the comics. Beyond the two storylines, in the premiere episode, everything else was fully MCU up to par. The action sequences were superb, I enjoyed the storyline, it actually caught me off guard at the end, and more importantly, I just want more. Clearly, this is where Kevin Feige was intending on kicking off Phase 4 of the MCU, and due to all those worldwide health restrictions, WandaVision got put first, which was, quite obviously, a little weird. This first episode feels 100% fully MCU styled, so fans of the MCU should be pretty happy. Overall, I'm going to give this first episode an 8 out of 10. It might have actually been a little higher than that, but I want to give the show some space to grow. So what did you guys think? Did you like the first episode of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier? And whose plotline was more compelling, Bucky's or Sam's? Sound off in the comments below. If you like this video, make sure you press like, click subscribe, and if you don't ring that bell, you're not going to get any updates. Peace.